What's up? I'm Trent Windsor. We're here in search of the perfect shuffle. It's time for another segment of clearing out the archives where I shuffle my music and whichever album pops up, that is the album I review song by song. If a song is more than 50% skippable, if I would skip it more than half the time, I say get rid of it. Not worth your time. If a song is less than 50% skippable, if I would listen to it more than half the time, I say it's a worthy addition for your perfect shuffle. Last time we shuffled our music and the album that popped up was AOKOHIO by the band Y. Y is an indie rock / indie rap group, although in my opinion they probably lean more towards the indie rock side, with indie rap being kind of a secondary styling. They're not huge, but they have been around for about 15 years. Their most recent album, AOKOHIO, is as much visual as it is auditory. But does the visual aspect of the album take away from the auditory experience? Let's find out as I review this album, kinda song by song. This is an album that is split up into 6 different sections, vignettes. Every song is less than 2 minutes long for the most part. And so judging each song individually would be 19 songs long and a lot of intros and outros. So instead, I'm going to judge the 6 individual vignettes as units. The first section is called I May Come Out a Broken Yoke, I May Come Out on Saddle. And this includes the song Apogee, The Rash, and Peel Free. This one starts pretty simple, happy, carefree, transitions into dark and confused, and uses a lot of big and complicated words, and then finds a balance somewhere in the middle there. It's really hard to nail down exactly one thing that's going on. The only time that it is easy to nail that down is during the first part of this section, which is meant to be carefree, childlike, youthful. The persona that we're following here, he recognizes the elements of his family of origin that are following him throughout the years. He's comparing his childhood and the happiness that he seemed to have with his adult years and the problems that he really held on to from when he was a kid. It's all pretty heavy stuff. It's very symbolic. It's very emotional, raw, and real. I really think it's beautiful how the simplicity slowly evolves into an anxious chaos, which is what many adults, including myself, feel like their lives can be sometimes. It's very nostalgic in nature. The video element captures it really well by comparing what I must assume are his home videos from when he was a child to his home videos from current day. This is an amazing section. I think it gives us a great taste of the type of music we're going to get moving forward. His singing voice isn't amazing, but it feels very real and helps convey the emotions he's trying to get out. I would say this section is 25% skippable. Section number 2 is called I've Been Carving My Elbows, I Might Just Take Flight. This includes the songs Reason, Delatorio Motilis, as well as Stained Glass Slipper. This one starts off much brighter. It's obviously about a love interest, but it shows this relationship kind of in reverse. You start out with a well-formed and established relationship, and then you regress a little bit to just hooking up, some physical affection, and you go back even further to the first date. The first and third section I think are really nice. The second section has some bad rapping. It just feels kind of pretentious, like he's using big words just for big words' sake and to confuse you, flex on you with his dictionary knowledge. Brother bought a thesaurus and a rhyming dictionary at Barnes & Noble and he wants to show it off. The third section specifically has some very good lyrics that I thought were very emotional and really touched me, but the melody is a little bit corny. This is all made up for by the music itself, which is pretty magical, very glittery. Got some glockenspiel in there. Even the plucked guitar really helps add to this atmosphere. It tells a great story in an unconventional way. I'd say this one is 40% skippable. Section number 3 is called Please Take Me Home, I Don't Belong Here. This includes the songs The Launch, High Dive, Mr. Fifth's Plea, as well as Good Fire. As opposed to the other sections of this album, this section doesn't see the parts meshing together quite as well. Parts 1 and 4 of this section really are just intro and outro. Part 2 is the best song individually on the album so far, and the most enjoyable and interesting for me. It's got these cool horn stabs, these harrowed harmonies, and really it's just about a girl trying to go off the high dive, but getting up to the top and getting scared and climbing back down. I'm sure there's a metaphor there. The third part is a cute little song, and it's played off as though he's listening to it in a car. It's really interesting because the song is about being uncertain, amongst other things, and I feel like this creative choice takes that uncertainty to a new level. I'd say this section is 30% skippable. Section 4 is called "The Surgeon Nervously Goes On, He Never Claimed to Be God." This includes the songs "Narcissistic Lamentation," "Krevin," "The Crippled Physician," and Ustekinimab. Ooh, that was hard for a white boy like me. This section actually has a lot of rapping. There's some pretty poetic lyrics in there about the expectations that are set upon him, both in his role as a performer as well as his role as a son. Here he really plays with syllables and what syllables are stressed in the words that he's saying, as well as the vocal tones themselves. This is where the video gets really trippy. You get some really crazy CGI action going on and it makes things pretty weird. The warped instrumentation and the warped vocals really take it to a different place, a different plane from the previous sections. I would say it's 25% skippable. Section number 5 is called "I Want to Live with Conviction in Silence and Diction." This includes the songs "My Original," "Rock Candy," and "Once Shy." This section is a lot more cluttered and disorganized. The lyrics seem to suggest that it may be to this section really didn't capture my imagination like the other sections. The other sections were very poetic. This one felt a little bit too chaotic where they were going. Definitely a purpose to that, but it is not my style. It's very, very short section. I do love the part in the video where this guy is just dismantling a camcorder for no particular reason. I would say this section is 60% skippable. Section number 6 and the very last section is called "Though I'm Tired, I'm Still Trying." This includes the songs "The Shame" and "Bloom Wither Bloom" for Mom. This section, of all the sections, is very, very heartfelt and honest. I think we can mostly all relate to that sentiment of "though I'm tired, I'm still trying," and he really gets to the heart of that feeling in this section. There are 1,000 really tiny elements that make this section incredibly beautiful. I really love the fluttering horns specifically. That really captured my imagination, and it really helped me feel the emotions of this section. It's hard for me to describe because there really are so many moving parts that are really incredible and so minor, yet they all work together so well. I'd say this section is 25% skippable as well. Tallying everything up, mathematically speaking, this album as a whole is 34% skippable. This is an album that explores a lot of real and raw emotions, and it really explores these things from unique angles and in a unique way. I also really enjoyed the visual elements that were very well done and did nothing but enhance the musical aspect. While it may feel pretentious and overly vague at times, I think it really comes from a genuine place. Alright, let's shuffle our music and see which album I'll be reviewing next. Alright, we're just going to go into our music library here, go into albums and hit shuffle. Alright, looks like the next album I'll be reviewing is Prime 2 by Prime. Thank you for watching. If you like what I'm doing here, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about the band Why. Let me know what you think about AOKOHIO. All musical opinions are valid, and I'd love to hear yours. Check the description below for links to the visual elements of this album, as well as my Best of 2019 playlist and Best of 2020 playlist, a playlist that's growing by the day. I'm Trent Windsor, and this is The Perfect Shuffle.